Welcome to the Empower Her Wellness Podcast. I'm Morgan, and I'm thrilled to be your host and wellness coach as we navigate the path to a healthier, more confident you. As the owner of Get Fit With Me, I bring years of experience in personal training, nutrition, and coaching to each episode. Join me as we explore practical tips and strategies for fitness, nutrition, mindset, and more, all tailored for busy women just like you. Let's empower your wellness journey and achieve lasting transformation together. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an episode of the Empower Her Wellness Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Morgan Ekovich. And I don't know if you follow me on social. If you do not, please go to the show notes, give me a follow on Facebook and Instagram, or if you only have one of them, on whichever platform you have, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. The reason I'm saying this is I did a post recently, and it showed up on Facebook and Instagram, and it will soon be on YouTube. It was a post about me sitting in the car. I've been a nanny for it'll be 10 years this year, which is so crazy to think. I've been with them since the youngest was 9 months old. She turns 10 this year. And it was a post about they were at one of their after school activities. I was waiting in the car, and typically what I do is I will scroll on my phone, I'll listen to music, I'll listen to a show, and I'll just kind of like have some downtime, which like downtime is not a bad thing to have. But I was sitting there and I was, of course, New Year resolutions, intentions, resetting ourselves, especially after the holidays. I do it too. And I was sitting there, I was like, okay, I can listen to music, I can listen to a show, but let's add a little bit of productivity to this time where I'm sitting and waiting. I didn't know if it was going to be 20 minutes or if it was going to be an hour. I wasn't sure. The activity was one that could kind of vary depending on how long it took them to do the thing. So I was sitting in the car, I pulled out my laptop, I got my notebook out, and I started to plan when my workouts were happening throughout the week. I started to plan what my meals were going to look like throughout the week. And that was something I didn't have time to do over the weekend. And honestly, when we don't have time to do it over the weekend, we end up just kind of pushing it off till the next weekend. You can plan your week at any point in the week. It doesn't have to be a weekend thing. So I'm sitting there and I'm planning, and it dawned on me that I was letting the word busy and the feeling of being busy get in my way of actually planning out what my week looks like. So I don't know about you, but I can guarantee and I trust that every single one of you are busy in your own unique way. Some of you, it's running the kids around. Some of you, it's work. Some of it's travel. Some of it's all of it. I don't care that busy looks different to each of us. I 100% trust that you are busy. What I want you to think about today is not letting busy continue to be your excuse on why you do not step up and do the thing. And I think this is a really good reminder in us remembering to keep our word. If we want to do something for ourselves, the only way to do it is to show up and do it. So I work with women. I work with busy women and busy moms. And honestly, busy is a term that shows up everywhere. And one of the main things I hear is when we jump on a call the first time is they're like, okay, thank you. This was great. I'm going to try to implement these things, but we'll reconnect when life slows down. And I totally understand that. I understand that feeling. I understand why we say that. But what I tell you is every single person that tells me that, in a couple months, they come back to me and they're like, so life doesn't slow down. And you need to notice that on your own. And you need to realize that life is never actually going to slow down. As soon as one stage of life closes that you feel is busy, a whole different version of busy is going to pop up. So that being said, you cannot wait for life to slow down. Honestly, life is never going to slow down. Even when you're in retirement, I work with clients that are retired. I work with clients who have had full-time jobs and kids, and then the kids are out of the house. And in every single stage, a different amount of busy comes into our life and pulls away from what we really want. So what I'm asking you is not to reframe and say you're not busy. That's not it, because I trust that you are busy. What I want you to do is say, what am I not doing because I'm letting my busy life control it? For me that week, it was me actually taking time to meal plan and taking time to schedule my workouts. Literally something so simple to open up the calendar and make this plan. The simplest thing. It wasn't even getting to the gym. I wasn't letting busy take that. I was literally letting it take away the planning portion, which for me is how the execution happens. So when we are thinking about this, is we are all busy, and I know that it is hard to add more things into your day. Busy doesn't mean you can't make progress. Busy just means that it has to look different. And I want you to start thinking about pockets of time instead of your free time. And I'm putting this in quotations because life is different for all of us. But what I did that day is as I sat in the car and I waited for the kids to come out, I thought, oh, this is a perfect pocket of time that I would do the things I said, watch a show, listen to music, scroll on social media. Those are pockets of time that I find I don't waste because those are needed. Those are totally parts that are needed in my life to keep balance. But in that moment, I didn't need that. That was a pocket of time that I was able to flip and turn and use more strategically. So you may have those pockets of time in your day where you're like, okay, I am waiting for my kid at carpool. I am waiting at rehearsal. I am waiting for this meeting to actually start. How many of us have actually showed up to a meeting in person or a Zoom meeting and like you're the first one there and you're prepared and you're just hanging out waiting for everybody else to jump on and get their shit together? That is a perfect time. It may be 2 minutes, it may be 5 minutes, but how can you use those little pockets of time to actually add progress to your life? So, when we are doing this, it's important that we know our schedule, that we can look at our schedule and say, well, I have this from here to here. And then notice, what are you doing during those pockets of time? Are you scrolling? Are you watching a show? Are you calling a friend? All things that are important at certain times of the day. But most likely, we are using them more often than we think we are. That being said, how can you, for that 5 minutes, that small pocket of time, reframe? Maybe you're going to stand up and march in place. Maybe you're going to go fill your water bottle. Maybe you're going to plan your meals for the week. Maybe you're going to plan when your workouts are going to be. I don't care what that looks like, but there is time in your day. We just have to find the pockets. We have to find the pockets. And that's what we work on in our 90-day Kickstart is I'm not here to take things off your plate and say, well, you're too busy. You need to tell them to stop doing this and you need to stop doing this. No, your life is your life and your schedule is your schedule. And if you like it, let's keep it. But let's find those small pockets of time where you can be successful, that you can still continue to move that needle forward and not be stuck in the, oh, I'll do it when life slows down. Oh, I can't, I'm too busy. If you can't because you're too busy, it is a choice you are making. So if you are too busy, we can find those pockets of time. Like I said, I sat in the car and I pulled out my notebook and I pulled out my laptop. And I've actually been doing that on a consistent basis. That's why having things mobily is really easy because we all have our cell phones with us. Don't get me wrong, I love pen and paper. I am such a pen and paper person. But having my phone on me where I can say, okay, this right here are the meals for the week. I know I have this, this, and this. And then when I get home, I can check the pantry to verify that I have the ingredients I thought I did. Same with our workouts. Scheduling them on our calendar takes just a couple of minutes. Doing the workout takes a hell of a lot longer than scheduling it. But for you to even get to the point of doing the workout, you have to schedule and make it a priority in your day. You can get up and go for a short walk. You can even multitask a little bit. It is cold in Michigan, so this may not be the best time to do it, but maybe you are going to talk to a friend because that's what you really like to do during that break time in between practices. But can you walk while you talk to them instead of just sitting in the car? Can you clean up the house? Can you start meal prepping? Like, there are ways that we tend to just kind of relax, that I'm not saying we have to move faster and we have to do more, but we can just be more strategic about it. I do a ton of listening while I cook. I love listening to something, whether it's a show, music, podcast, talk to a friend, because I feel confident enough in the kitchen that I don't really have to pay attention and I can talk to my friend and kind of just move throughout. So thinking through those things, where are areas in your life that you have pockets of time that are probably not being used the most effectively? We all got them. Mine is typically in the car waiting for people. I will scroll and scroll and scroll because that's just, it's habit. Our phones and our technology want to pull us that way. But how can we reframe that? And instead of zoning out, do something to move that needle forward in our health and our wellness. All we're doing is creating awareness here about noticing when those pockets of time are and starting to use them more effectively. Planning saves us time later in the week. Planning allows workouts and meals to actually happen. It removes the decision fatigue. I am so tired. I'm going to tell you what. It is cold in Michigan. We don't get very much sun. I am tired, and making one more decision at the end of the night of what to eat or what outfit I'm going to wear the next day for a workout, all of that is the lowest on the totem pole. But do they matter for my health? Yes. Because if I don't pick an outfit out, I probably won't go to the gym. If I don't plan my dinner, I will probably have a girl dinner. And having a girl dinner too many days in a row is not ideal. If you don't know what a girl dinner is, but it's usually like noodles and butter and a glass of wine or a cocktail. Not an ideal dinner to have on a regular basis. And you may have your own version of a girl dinner. I don't know if you've seen those, but yeah, those are a thing. They're just really nice and easy. And like, they're great for the soul, but like, I don't need to have that every single night for dinner. Remember, we do not need to add more to your plate. I am here to help you see your plate a little bit differently. See where some of those gaps are, to help work with your schedule, to stop waiting for the perfect conditions and to build habits that actually fit into your life. That is the thing, is I think so many people follow other people's plans, other people's workouts, other people's nutrition advice, other people's what they eat in the day, other people's stuff. And in all honesty, their life is not yours. And that is part of the reason why you are not successful, is we are following somebody else's and we're not following something that's been created and been customized to our life and our lifestyle. I am going to work with a mom of 2 completely differently than a mom of 8. You have way different responsibilities here. Your busy looks way different. Try going to 2 doctor's appointments for kids versus 8 doctor's appointments for kids. Managing schedule with more people, more jobs, more lifestyle interruptions, things like that are things we all have to take into account. Somebody who's got a home gym for somebody who has to go to a gym. There are things that we have to think about and plan around. And we do that in the 90-day Kickstart, is I work with you and your schedule and your life. So I want you to take this week and I want you to notice as you're going about your day, is there a pocket of time where you find yourself scrolling? You find yourself just kind of daydreaming and wasting it on something that in that moment is not really needed. Like I said, there is a time and a place for scrolling. There's a time and a place for TV. There's a time and a place to read. But is there a time when you could say, yeah, I really need to plan my workouts this week. I'm going to plan my workouts. Once they are planned, then I'm going to scroll if I still have time. Put what you need to do before those things that you want to do. And find those pockets of time. You don't have to use all of them, but pick one. Find one in your day. Whether you do something or not with it is a different story, but start to be aware of where these pockets happen. Like I said, mine is typically when I'm in the car waiting for people, whether it's my nanny kids or we're going and picking up friends, whatever that is, those pockets of time right there is where I find I can get the most done because it's short and I know I'm going to be effective. Like I'm going in with intention. So you are never not going to be busy. You are always going to be busy. I promise you. Busy just looks different at different stages of life in everybody's life. So that being said, I want you to stop waiting. Stop waiting to make a change. Stop waiting to take a chance on yourself. Stop waiting to follow through on what you said you're going to do and make it work. Start small. Pick a pocket of time and see what can you do. Can you actually walk? Can you plan those workouts? Can you go grocery shopping or do you need to do an online pickup? We have so many amazing tools at our fingertips these days. Like, let's use them. Let's use them to our advantage because you may notice that grocery shopping is a pain in the ass and you dread it and you can never go. Stop doing grocery shopping. Start ordering your groceries from your car while you're waiting. Or while you're at home on the couch at the end of the night unwinding, order your groceries for a pickup where you have to drive up and they put them in your car and then you go home. You save time and you end up saving money that way because you're not wandering around the grocery store randomly picking up things, especially if you're hungry. So all of that to be said, I know you are busy. I trust you. I believe that you are busy. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we can look at your schedule and we can find pockets of time to help you move your life forward in your health and your fitness and your nutrition in all areas so that you feel better and that you are doing the things you said and you want to do. So with that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Remember, go check the show notes. Please give my Facebook and my Instagram a follow, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. All those are in the show notes. And then always shoot me an email with the subject line 90-day Kickstart. If you want to try to find these pockets for yourself, if you want me to help you find these, if you want to start implementing your workouts, your nutrition, and start to actually take action on what you keep saying you're going to do, send me an email at morgan@getfitwithme-morganakovich.com with the subject line 90-day Kickstart, and I'll reach out to you and we'll get started. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in to the Empower Her Wellness Podcast. I hope you found today's episode inspiring and packed with actionable tips. Remember, your journey to becoming the strongest, most confident version of yourself is just beginning. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode and join our community of empowered women. Until next time, stay strong and stay confident.